Metro TV, insightful and inspiring more.
A very good morning to you and welcome to the World Today Live on Metro TV Live on DSTV channel 277. We're also live on Facebook and on YouTube at Metro TV Ghana, and on Instagram and on Twitter at Metro TV GH. I am Bright Nana Kwesi Amini, coming up in the next 60 minutes. Thanks for joining us. Now, and first in the news, let's start off from Ghana. As according to the Minister of Information for Ghana, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, he has decided to beef up security across its borders, significantly the north. Now, at the sea, because of the increasing spate of pirate and terrorism attacks from some West African countries, he hinted that this will also help to make sure that Ghana protect its borders and what is in the country. He made a statement during the press briefing at the Information Ministry here in Accra.
The overwhelming majority of the persons involved in these attacks, be the piracy attacks or the terrorist attacks, are West Africans. West Africans from among us. We are the same people who are doing it. So I think in instances where some interceptions were done on the sea, West African nationals, they are not from Europe or anywhere else. West African nationals. I may not single out the country, but I'm sure your research will show. In the terrorist activities in the northern part of West Africa, it's West African nationals. And I just mentioned to you that at least in one instance, a Ghanaian was involved. So it's not as though somebody is the one who is harming us. We are responsible for improving the security situation. And it requires an all of government, all of country, all of West Africa approach. Already the West African countries are doing a lot of intelligence sharing after the Accra Accord, which was the initiative of President Akufo-Addo. They are sharing a lot of intelligence so that they can alert you that we have succeeded in clearing this person from our country, but we are told he's now heading towards your country. And then you can also put your systems in readiness. And that is where, if you don't have the men, logistics, intelligence to respond, then you are caught flat-footed. So it is important that we do this.
Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is the Minister for Information for Ghana, telling us how exactly the country plans on protecting its borders against pirate. Let's now go to South Africa as President Cyril Ramaphosa joined the cleanup on Sunday, sweeping away rubble and trash after routing resulted in city damage.
The rioting broke out the past week in response to the jailing of ex-president Jacob Zuma for his failure to appear at a corruption inquiry. It swiftly degenerated into looting and destruction, driven by widespread anger over the hardship and inequality that nearly 3 decades of democracy since the end of apartheid have failed to address. The military called up all its reservists to bolster army and police who have struggled to maintain the unrest. In the past few days of protests, 161 malls and shopping centers, 11 warehouses, 8 factories, and 161 liquor outlets were damaged.
We were infiltrated. There were people who came in, this invisible enemy that we are fighting, which we must continue to fight and defeat. And I can say we are going to defeat them, because they are not equal to the strength that we have in relation to young people like you, our government, our security forces, and the people of Soweto and the people of South Africa.
Let's still stay in South Africa. Now, feeling anguish and despair after days of the worst violence to hit South Africa in years, Durban pianist Jenny Bowes is using music to bring hope and love into the scenes of devastation as the country rebuilds following the unrest.
Playing a piano left standing amid debris and damaged storage units, Bowes belts out songs including the South African national anthem. Bowes told Reuters that the last few days felt like a war zone. While helping her brother clean debris at a looted storage facility, she said she had a feeling of profound sadness mixed with hope that prompted her to play the piano found there.
At one point, I just knew that I wanted to sing Nkosi Sikeleli. And so, yeah, I sang it in faith. I sang it not just for me and our personal situation, but I sang it for the people in this facility, for the people of this province, for the people of this nation. Because, I mean, it says, God bless Africa.
The saddest part of the devastation, Bowes said, was that people lost not only material possessions, but treasured family photos and heirlooms too.
The words of that song it's really a hymn, and so I knew that I just wanted to sing that and declare that over our own situation, but for so many others. But it was with a broken heart that I sang it.
Protests broke out in the past week in parts of the country after former President Jacob Zuma was jailed for failing to appear at a corruption inquiry. The protests swiftly degenerated into looting and arson, which have killed more than 200 people and destroyed hundreds of businesses. President Cyril Ramaphosa said on Friday, July 16th, that the unrest was stabilizing and calm has been restored to most of the affected areas, but the distraction will cost the country billions of rand.
Away from South Africa. Now, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has urged people to show caution when nearly all remaining COVID-19 restrictions are lifted in England, which is next week, saying an increase in cases underlined that the pandemic was by no means over.
It's very confusing. I'm trying my hardest to follow the rules, but I don't understand the rules. So, yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm going on my holiday, and whatever happens, happens.
Oh, it's very confusing for a lot of people, because it's difficult for them to change all the time the thing, and especially for families like me.
Oh. I mean, I'm really disappointed because I'm going to see my family. And I thought that I'm double vaxxed, so I thought that it would all be all right coming back. Yeah. I work in a primary school, so I wanted to be able to, spend the night with my family. So disappointed. I don't really understand why. Something maybe about the beta variant, but I don't. It's meant to be less dangerous. I don't know.
For the last year, you don't know whether you're coming or going. It's kind of quite horrible to be travelling at the moment, but needs must for me.
So those are some citizens in the UK expressing how worried they are. They are told that when they travel to France and on their way back, they have to quarantine, and that's a problem for them. Now let's go to Libya, as Amnesty International has established that migrants held in Libyan detention camps are subject to horrific sexual violence at the hands of guards, including being forced to barter sex for clean water, food and access to sanitation.
The report, which focused on migrants intercepted in the Mediterranean and who disembarked in Libya in 2020 and 2021, suggests worsening conditions in the camps despite being recently placed under the control of the Libyan Interior Ministry. The findings came from interviews with 53 refugees and migrants aged between 14 and 50 from countries such as Nigeria, Somalia and Syria, mostly who were still in Libya, who had been able to flee camps or had access to telephones. Some pregnant women inside the camps told Amnesty they had been repeatedly raped by guards, while men said they were forced to wear only underwear in an attempt to humiliate them. Others, including boys, described being groped, prodded and violated.
For instance, in one center that's specifically designated for vulnerable groups, formerly detained women told Amnesty International that they had been that women at the center had been raped by guards, that they that they attempted to coerce them into sex in exchange for food or clean water, and that those who attempted to resist were severely beaten.
The inhuman treatment follows multiple reports since 2017 of beatings, torture and a lack of sanitation and food. While data is unreliable, Amnesty said some 6,100 people were transferred to camps by the end of June.
So unlike last year when we saw thousands of individuals going unaccounted for in unofficial detention facilities, this year the vast majority of the over or around 15,000 that had been disembarked in the first 6 months of 2021 were taken to official detention centers directly upon disembarkation. But there is a very large disparity between the number of those that were taken to these centers and those that are registered as or have been counted as remaining in those centers. And the report highlights a number of ways that individuals may leave or be removed from detention, either by escaping, by paying ransoms for their release, by being transferred to other centers, at times due to death because of cruel and inhumane detention conditions, by lack of denial of access to medical care. And it's very concerning that there's no secure or comprehensive registration system that allows the tracking or tracing of their ultimate whereabouts.
Quite disturbing there. It's still the World Today Live on Metro TV. We are back from the break with more.
Did you know that cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it? Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use Flora disposable handkerchief. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, Flora disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief.
Mommy, my Flora disposable handkerchief.
Look out for Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For bill purchases, call Delta Paper Mail on 0243 033 033.
Are you tired as a consumer in Ghana when it comes to issues that confront you as a consumer? Worry no more. Kofi Capito. I'm here to give you the information, all that you need to make sure that your right is protected as a consumer. We have too many laws and agencies that should protect the right of the consumer. I'm here to give you the information that will help and assist you to get goods and services delivered to you without any worries. Watch the Capito Show on Metro TV.
We are back. And now, Thai police fired water cannon, tear gas and rubber bullets on Sunday, July 18, to stop protesters from marching on the office of Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha, calling for him to resign.
More than 1,000 protesters took part in the demonstration despite an extended coronavirus lockdown. Demonstrators carried mock body bags to represent coronavirus deaths as they blamed the Prime Minister and his government for mismanaging the COVID-19 pandemic. The use of force by the police came after some protesters tried to dismantle barbed wire and metal barricades set up by the authorities to block roads from Democracy Monument to Government House where the Prime Minister works. The protest marked 1 year since the first of a wave of large-scale street protests led by youth groups that attracted hundreds of thousands of people across the country. Thailand reported 11,397 infections and 101 deaths on Sunday, bringing the cumulative total to 403,387 cases and 3,341 fatalities, the vast majority from an outbreak since early April that has been fueled by the highly transmissible Alpha and Delta COVID-19 variants.
In Venezuela, a restive calm in Caracas El Cementerio barrio, ground zero of a recent firefight between well-armed gang members and security forces that saw residents trapped in the middle. This RSFs.
The pitched gun battles between police and a collection of gangs, at least 300 strong based in a cluster of barrios in western Caracas, are another sign President Nicolas Maduro is losing control over parts of Venezuela, which is suffering from a deep economic crisis and a protracted breakdown of the rule of law. Security experts say violent police operations that Maduro launched in 2015, dubbed Operation Liberation of the People, helped consolidate groups of rival gangs initially operating out of the Cota 905 neighborhood and nearby areas by giving them a common enemy. Rights groups said it led to hundreds of extrajudicial killings. Violence persisted. Venezuela's information ministry did not respond to a request for comment. Neither the gangs nor government has said what sparkled the standoff, but it apparently began with police officers shooting a gang leader allied with prominent gang leader El Koki, according to a source close to the.
And now our reporters joined a U.S. Coast Guard patrol over the Florida Strait on Saturday, July 17, 2021, after U.S. Homeland Security effectively warned Florida boaters not to join a planned flotilla headed for Cuba in solidarity with unprecedented protest in the communist-led island.
The fleet of vessels is expected to launch from South Florida to Cuba on Monday, July 19, to offer support to Cuban demonstrators who began protesting in large numbers last week. In an apparent response to the planned launch, the Department of Homeland Security issued an advisory on Thursday, July 15, reminding boaters that it is illegal to enter Cuban waters from the U.S. without a permit, saying that boaters who attempt the crossing illegally risk arrest, having their vessels seized, civil and criminal fines of up to $25,000 and even 10 years in prison. The same day, the Coast Guard also urged South Florida recreational boaters who were considering sailing into Cuban territorial waters to not to take the sea, adding that the waters in the Florida Strait are unpredictable and dangerous.
My biggest concern is people's safety of life. so their safety of life at sea. Anytime you go to take to the waters, especially far offshore, it's dangerous, it's risky. You got to think that, especially if it's not powered, you're just at the mercy of the winds and the drift. And you know, if it's a high sea state or some weather coming in, you could take water into the raft.
Now, the Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and Chinese ambassador to Pakistan Ron visited Combined Military Hospital on Sunday, July 18, to inquire about well-being of Chinese nationals injured in the Dasu bus blast in the garrison city of Rawalpindi near Islamabad. A press release from Inter-Service Public Services stated.
Explosion in which 13 people, including 9 Chinese workers, were killed in northwest Pakistan on Wednesday, July 14, sent the bus hurtling over a ravine. Pakistan initially blamed a mechanical failure, but later said traces of explosives had been found and terrorism could not be ruled out. Qureshi wished the injured speedy recovery. He assured the injured Chinese nationals all-out support and medical care, the statement said. Ambassador Non Rong said that China and Pakistan would continue to cooperate more closely to face any challenges together. Earlier on arrival, Major General Muhammad Alim, Commandant CMH, apprised visiting dignitaries about medical care being provided to injured. Beijing had initially called it a bomb attack but backed away from the assertion after Pakistan stated that it was an accident. Later, Beijing said it will send a team to help investigate the matter jointly with Pakistan.
China and Pakistan continue to cooperate more closely to develop together, to face any more challenges together.
And hopefully the girl will soon. Now, Homer and Ulysses are 2 Syrian brown bears that were rescued from a zoo in the suburbs of Tyre, southern Lebanon, and will be relocated in a wildfire sanctuary in Colorado, United States. A team from 4 PALS International arrived in Lebanon to help with the medical procedures needed to move the bears on their long journey west.
The animals were kept in Lebanon Zoo for more than 10 years in a cage with cement floor. They will be finally able to touch green grass and walk freely in their natural habitat, said Jason Mia, Animals Lebanon director. The bears will fly in 2 separate crates from Lebanon to Chicago via Dubai before reaching their final destination in Wild Animal Sanctuary in Colorado.
Today is the day we'll be able to dart the 2 Syrian brown bears and bring them to a sanctuary in United States in Colorado.
Animals are hanging on in similar conditions in all of Lebanon's 5 zoos, victims of a financial meltdown that has consigned more than half of the population to poverty and erased more than 90% of the local currency's value.
And now, a better home for these bears. Still the Watch Today live on Metro TV Live on DSTV channel 277. We are live on Facebook and also live on YouTube at Metro TV Ghana. Same on Twitter and also on Instagram at Metro TV GH. We are back with more.
We are 1 man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah.
Always drink fresh, natural eggs, mineral water.
You still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
The world has seen a lot of evolution in recent times. Global network facilitated by trade continues to grow stronger and forge nations closer together.
On International Trade Focus, we'll share with you the current industry, tech and commercial avenues turning the world's trade wheel. This is your gateway to international business connections and trading events. Get the inside views, vital information, trends and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and innovation. Join me, Anna Spiel, as I give you a whole menu of international trade activities. International Trade Focus, your timely business hub.
Welcome back. It's still the World Today live here on Metro TV, the beautiful city in Kenya, Nairobi. There you saw it there. Let's now move on to other stories as German Chancellor Angela Merkel described the flooding that has devastated parts of Europe as terrifying on Sunday, July 18, after the death toll across the region rose to 188 and the district of Bavaria was battered by the extreme weather. And so visuals coming in from Tel Aviv as a beautiful nation has been done on buildings in support of Germany and other European countries who have suffered flood and also suffering other natural disasters. Now, and away from that, mandatory evacuations continue on Saturday along the California and Nevada border as the fast-moving Tamarack fire engulfed over 21,000 acres of almost 33 square miles, the U.S. Forest Service reported. Now, officials say the fire is believed to have started from the lightning strike on July 4 near Markleeville in the Humboldt-Toyab National Forest.
Since Friday, evacuations have been ordered for Markleeville, Grover's Hot Springs Park and Campground, Shea Creek, Markleeville Village and East Fork Resort. According to NBC, firefighters have been spraying retardants to coat vegetation to stop the spread of the flames. But as of 5 p.m. local time, the fire was 0% contained. About 70 major active wildfires were listed on Thursday, July 15th, as having burned more than 1 million acres in 12 states. The National Interagency Fire Wildfire Center in Boise, Idaho, reported.
They gave us about 20 minutes notice. But it looked like they said the fire was like 5-6 miles away, and about an hour later it was right on us. They didn't give us any time at all.
The situation represented a hectic start to the annual fire season, coming amid arid conditions and record-breaking heat that has baked much of the West in recent weeks.
Quite disturbing visuals there. Let's now move on to Britain. And as Britain and other countries drawing up legislation to regulate online content, including racist abuse, must avoid overly broad definitions and over-reliance on algorithms that might curb free speech. United Nations official warned on Wednesday, July 14, 2021. This is to make sure that everybody is able to understand what exactly these rules of online are.
Dozens of new laws on social media have been adopted worldwide in the last 2 years, including Vietnam's 2019 law on cybersecurity, which the experts said had been used to delete posts and arrest those voicing critical opinions. Black players in the England soccer team were subjected to a storm of online racist abuse after their defeat in the final of Euro 2020 on Sunday, July 11, drawing wide condemnation. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged on Wednesday to strengthen measures against online racist abuse of soccer players, banning fans from games if they are found guilty of such offences, and fining social media for failing to remove it.
The EU is currently considering what promises to be a landmark law in this space, its Digital Service Act. And the choice being made in that legislation could have ripple effects worldwide. The draft has some positive elements. It is grounded in human rights language, it's being developed through a participatory process, and it contains clear transparency requirements for platforms. Yet, some contradictory signals remain, including the risk that overbroad liability will be imposed on companies for user-generated content and that there will be limited judicial oversight.
Hicks asked to elaborate on what she called the aberrant use of Black English.
And we apologize for that. Let's now talk about science and what is trending as technology is seeing a new feat. Now, Jeff may have been beaten to space by rival Richard Branson, but the billionaire American businessman is poised to make history next week aboard what will be the world's first unpiloted suborbital flight with all civilian crew.
Bezos, the former CEO of Amazon.com Incorporation, is due to be part of a 4-person crew for a planned 11-minute ride to the edge of space on Tuesday, July 20th, inside his company Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft. Another milestone in the nascent and potentially lucrative space tourism sector. Branson, the British billionaire businessman, was aboard his company Virgin Galactic's rocket plane for its pioneering suborbital flight from New Mexico earlier in July. The Virgin Galactic flight included 2 pilots, as well as the company's chief astronaut instructor and its lead operations engineer. Billionaire businessman Elon Musk's space transportation company SpaceX is planning an even more ambitious mission in September, sending an all-civilian crew for a several-day orbital flight aboard its Crew Dragon capsule.
This is Blue Moon. We've been working on this lander for 3 years. It's a very large lander. It's time to go back to the moon, this time to stay.
Branson has been trying to do this for the last 10 years, and he's had numerous delays, technical delays. He had one accident back in 2014 in which one of the pilots was killed. And so I think he's 70 years old. I think he wants to see his venture succeed, and I think by going up himself, it's a bit of a publicity stunt to some degree, and probably the same thing with Bezos. But I think they're both committed to what they're doing. I think they're serious. Look, each one of them has personalities that are well known. I believe Branson is a little more colorful than Bezos, but I think it's more of a personal race more than a race of ventures. Both of them have succeeded in many ways. Both of them are far behind SpaceX. But yeah, I think it's more of a publicity thing. As he's been more involved with the industry. The same with Branson. I think all of them started out with the idea of developing in many ways, Musk has already won it because he has launched countless missions over the last 5 to 6 years. I believe in the last few years he's been launching more than 20 missions to Earth orbit, not suborbit. And I believe he's planning to launch up to 40 missions just this year alone. So in terms of the race to Earth orbit, by far, he's the winner. He kind of skipped over the suborbit race because the orbital segment of the industry, of the market, is much more lucrative. Between the remaining two, it's hard to say, but in some ways Branson has already won because he has already launched suborbital missions that are piloted, and Mr. Bezos has not. This will be the first mission in which he sends humans to suborbit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
And so 3 giants, Max, Branson, and Jeff Bezos, all there trying to make history. Who become the top notch? We're going to give you more here on The World Today as these 3 champs try to make history. You're still watching The World Today live on Metro TV Live on DSTV channel 277. We return from the break. Still with more.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah. Always drink fresh, natural, X, mineral, water.
Still got it.
Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Welcome back. Let's now do some sports. And first in sports, Louise, Hamilton won his home British Grand Prix for a record-extending 8th time on Sunday, July 18, despite a 10-second penalty for a controversial first-lap collision that sent Red Bull rival Max Verstappen crashing out of the race.
Mercedes driver, now only 8 points behind Verstappen after 10 races, passed Ferrari's Charles Leclerc for the lead with 2 laps to go as a capacity 140,000 crowd rose to cheer him. Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas was third after obeying team orders to let Hamilton through and chase Leclerc in the race halted after Verstappen's crash and then restarted. The win was the 99th of 7-time world champion Hamilton's Formula One career and the 4th of the current campaign. It was also the worst possible result for Verstappen, who had started in pole position with a 33-point lead and seeking a 4th win in a row, but who ended up empty-handed and in hospital for checks. There was no point awarded for fastest lap, with Red Bull's Mexican Sergio Perez setting it, but failing to secure the necessary top 10 finish to trigger the bonus.
Just not enough in the last 2 laps. So congratulations to Lewis. He did an incredible job, and it's amazing to see as many fans in the grandstand. It was fun in the car, but lacked just a little bit of pace towards the end.
I had to react to the stop of Lando in the beginning, so we stopped a bit too early to be competitive towards the end. But you know, at least we got Lando and also managed to help Lewis to win.
Oh God, it was such a physically difficult race. What great weather. We've got the best crowd. Our home crowd is the best. Thank you guys so much. Honestly, there's nowhere we go where we see people like this. They ain't got what we got. I'm so grateful to the fans. You know, I wish everyone to stay safe as always and get home safely. But this is a dream for me today to do this in front of you all. I couldn't have done it without the great teamwork from Valtteri and the amazing effort from the team.
The secret, well, I never do this, but I had a burger for 4 straight days.
And there you have it, Hamilton there, taking all the home support he need. He actually won that particular championship. Let's now give you some golf story. As Collin Marikawa says, even though he's young, he wants more after shooting a bogey-free final round to win the 149th Open Championship at the Royal St. George on Sunday. Now, the American becomes the first player to win the championship on his Open debut since Ben Curtis in 2003.
The secret, well, I never do this, but I had a burger for 4 straight days, so my body's probably feeling it. I know my body's feeling it. But I think I just enjoy these moments, and I talk about it so much that we love what we do, and you have to embrace it. You know, you have to be excited about these opportunities, and that's how I looked at it today, especially coming down the stretch. I'm excited, and to have the Claret Jug right here in my possession for a year, I believe, I'm excited to have it. You know, I think when you make history, and I'm 24 years old. It's hard to grasp, and it's hard to really take it in. A quick little side note was, when Phil won the PGA, I think he's 50 years old, right? I didn't look at him as, this old guy winning. I looked at him as still competition that could really play well. If he put everything together, which he did, he could play well and win. So at 24, it's so hard to look back at the short 2 years that I've been a pro and see what I've done, because I want more. It's so early on, and I enjoy these moments, and I love it, and I think I need to teach myself to embrace it a little more, maybe spend a few extra days sitting back and drinking out of this. But yeah, I need to I just want more. You know, when you're in these moments and you truly love what you do, which I love playing golf and competing against these guys, these are the best moments ever because the nerves push you to just be a better person.
Feel that way?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I look calm because the nerves are definitely up there. But, you know, you channel these nerves into excitement, into energy, and that puts you away from like a fear factor into, you know, this is something I want. So that's how I look at it, you know, especially as those last 9 holes were coming in. Jordan was making birdies. I think Rahm was pushing. Louis had a birdie on 11, an amazing birdie. You know, you can't worry about the score. I had to worry about every shot. Can I execute every shot to the best of my ability? Some we did, some we didn't, and then you move on. You know, we can't control what's going to happen, what has happened. So I really looked at that as just focus on every shot. How do I see what is the best shot possible, and try and do my best from there. Definitely one of the best, especially inside 10 feet. I felt like it was as solid as it's going to get. I don't think I really missed many from that distance, and especially in a major. You know, I think in a major on a Sunday in contention, I wasn't thinking about anything other than making a putt. And I'm going to tell myself probably tomorrow, why can't I keep doing that all the time? But, you know, I'm going to try and figure out what worked today and use that for the future because I know I can putt well. You know, I know I can putt well in these pressure situations, and I just got to keep doing that. You know, yeah, everything about my stats say, you know, I'm not a good putter and statistically, and I feel like I can get a lot better. But in these situations, I feel like everything is thrown off the table. Forget about all your stats, who can perform well in these situations. And that's why I think over the past few majors, you've seen a lot of the same names up there because they believe in their game. They know what they're doing when they practice, and they're able to bring it out in these big moments. And thankfully, I was able to put it out there on Sunday today and close it out. These are the first 2 times I played with Louis, and Louis is an outright amazing player and person. I hope I get more pairings with him because he's just a great guy to play with. Just everything about it, tempo, just it's nice to see another guy just stripe it down the middle. I mean, when I watch him play and hit his drives, I'm like, wow, like I want to hit it like that. But yeah, you know, Louis consistent. He really is. He's going to keep knocking at these doors, and I'm sure he's going to knock a few more down. It's just too good. You know, he just had an unlucky break on 7. You know, we were in the middle of the fairway, and he makes bogey. And just had a couple other bogeys where, you know, I had my caddy JJ on, I think, what was it, 13. I hit 5-wood off the tee. You know, if he wasn't there, I would have never hit 5-wood. And that was probably the best decision of my life to keep that round going and hit 5-wood. And I think Lou was in the bunker, had to chip out sideways. But Lou is an amazing guy.
Let's now come back here in Ghana and talk about football as the best team in the country. Now, Accra Hearts of Oak has been given their trophy for winning the Ghana Premier League.
It was very great. The excitement is very great. We've waited for quite some time, over 10 years, it's more than a decade. And it's been very tough. We've struggled, we've got to fight, we've got to struggle, you know, here and there, traveling with the team, with my executives. You know, it's not been easy for us. But we thank the Almighty God for bringing us this far. At His own time, He does it beautifully.
The management, the playing body, I do thank you. The media, I thank you all.
We lost the match today, but again, can you see the smile in the faces of our supporters? Means even though we lost, they know what is at stake. We have lifted the trophy, 2020-21, the league trophy. It's been a journey for Accra so far, but we, like I said, Almighty God owes all the glory. Our players, the technical department, the management of the club, the board of directors of our club, we all stayed focused. We believe that it's something achievable. Even though from the beginning, the light was not that bright, but at the end of the day, some involvement and some changes gave us hope that we can do it, including technical department, the playing body, and every other thing. So there's a lot of changes that came to the club, and it says it all, because the club means that the club was well focused. They are determined and seen that it's possible for us. 12 years, I mean, the wilderness has been a lot of worry for our supporters. So that's one of the reasons sometimes you hear in the radio, in the media, every of our supporters trying to make a lot of noise in the negative. But it's all because of the trophy. But we thank God that He's answered our prayer. Today, we are in Sebakope, we are lifting the trophy. It would have been far more better when it is in Accra Stadium. But I can imagine the stadium would have been closed. But thank God for today. We are happy. Our players, I mean, they're all very fantastic players. And I believe that from this on, Accra Suffolk forward ever is what it is. It's not a club that leaves the trophy and goes to sleep. Whenever we leave the trophy, means we are marching forward. And I can tell you and promise you that this is a time for us to move forward.
Wow, yeah, I mean, we are all very happy. You know, we are like, it's quite sad that we didn't win the last match. But, you know, look at the faces, everyone is happy, you know. So, of course, we are very happy. And especially Togbe must be happy. Fortunately, he's not in today, you know, but I'm sure he's watching, you know, on the TV. And yes, without him, we wouldn't be here, you know.
There you have it, the crowds for the champions of Ghana Premier League. Let's now do some business. And at the age of 6, Camilla Ahmed learned the intricate craft, of course, from her parents and went along to teach it to her siblings and neighbors in Fayum, an agricultural town 100 kilometers southwest of the capital Cairo in Egypt.
Decades on, the now 67-year-old has turned the generation's old skill into a business that sustains her entire village of Al Alam. Known for its patterned designs, Coase is the craft of making bags, boxes, baskets and other products purely from renewable palm fronds. Through its natural material and authenticity, the product has acquired appeal both in and outside of Egypt. Ahmed says she taught the craft to her fellow villagers and is now producing on a mass scale, exporting to countries abroad and even taking orders that pay in US dollars.
And there you have it in business. Let's now do some lifestyle story. So from old denim fabrics, Afghan refugee Baha Husseini fashioned a pair of baggy jeans with fringed patches that he hopes will be paraded down the French Catway later this year.
Husseini has worked with a sewing machine before. He made his way to Iran in 2012 after fleeing fighting between government and Taliban forces in Afghanistan's Ghazni province, surviving on a modest tailor's income. Now, he's involved in a collaboration between French fashion students and migrants from Afghanistan and the Middle East. The Reprise project aims to train to give migrants the skills to turn second-hand clothes into edgy menswear. New to his repertoire are jeans, jackets and hats, sometimes inspired by traditional Afghan clothing.
Yeah, so this project is really all about the refugees. We really are uniting this refugee camp together, so really finding people that are interested in creation, interested in sewing, and really bringing them together in a community environment and spreading positivity.
The workshop is based inside a center run by the Aurora Association that houses 200 asylum seekers and refugees in a southern Paris suburb. Once or twice a week, a group of asylum seekers and refugees join the workshop, honing new skills in embroidery, crocheting and modeling.
So a huge objective is being able to not only teach the refugees skills so that they can possibly one day be integrated into the French workforce through the skills that they learned here, but also really giving them social empowerment, really giving them the opportunity to be able to learn from this project and get an income.
The fashion students and community volunteers want to get hold of professional sewing machines and decommissioned fabric from fashion brands.
Okay, go back. Big dreams right there. Now let's do some stories from Hollywood and also from the music scene in the UK. As pop singer Britney Spears said in a long Instagram post on Sunday that she will not perform until she's out of her father's censorship. And she said, "Look, I'm not gonna be performing in any stages anytime soon. With my dad handling what I wear, say, do or think," she wrote. Take a look.
Her remarks in a lengthy Instagram post were the latest in a series of emotional public comments about the conservatorship that controls her personal and financial affairs and which she has begged to be brought to an end. I am not going to be performing on any stages anytime soon with my dad handling what I wear, say, do or think, the Piece of Me singer wrote. I'd much rather share videos. Yes, from my living room instead of on stage in Vegas. I'm not going to put on heavy makeup and try on stage again, not be able to do the real deal with remixes of my songs for years, she added. The pop star's father, Jamie Spears, has sole control of his daughter's $60 million estate under the court-appointed conservatorship that he set up in 2008. Spears, 39, who has undisclosed mental health issues, has not performed in public since late 2018 at the end of a world tour and an extended concert residency in Las Vegas. Spears, this week, appointed a new lawyer to represent her in her bid to bring the conservatorship to an end, calling it abusive. This conservatorship killed my dreams, so all I have is hope, and hope is the only thing in this world that is very hard to kill, she wrote on Saturday.
There you have it. So once the ruling goes in favor of Britney Spears, I mean, anybody who is suffering with their conservatorship will also be able to deal with it peacefully. Let's now cross over to Nanaya Bwachitanwa and Kojo Nyantachi Krante, who are on standby. I think it was the latest happenings here in Ghana. Good morning to you guys. Okay. I love the black and blacky both are showing me on the screens.
I'll give you that.
I didn't get that. Say it again.
I said it's just a one day and you're looking good. I'm going to give you that.
Thank you so much. But what's the latest trend here in Ghana?
Okay, so do you remember the bird flu?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bird flu is back again.
Yes, as we've been told.
Yes, and this time around, I'm sure you know the veterinary services are on top of their game, so they've alerted the public, and then they are requesting that we play our part, you know, to help curb it or mitigate it. So from my side, yes, the bird flu is back, and I'll be touching more on that.
I know how Kojo enjoys chicken and all that, so he's going to be extra careful.
Did you have to say that?
Yeah, I had to. It's every morning.
I really wanted you to say that, and you mentioned that. And also, the Ghana Health Service has recently released some of the COVID updates. You see, last week Kojo and I were talking about the fact that the awareness, the information, the education has gone a bit down. But then, as of Tuesday, July 13th, the death rate was 810, and the active cases now is 2,601, and the recoveries is now 98,435. So as of Tuesday last week, the death was 810.
And so these are the COVID cases here in Ghana. Kojo and Naya Bwachitanwa there with the latest happenings in the country from the capital, Accra. So thank you so much. You come to you at 7 a.m. for the latest here in Ghana. Naya Kojo. Great. That's it for the news here this morning on The World Today. Before we go, a quick look of our top stories. On Thursday, July 15, that migrants held in Libyan detention camps are subject to horrific sexual violence at the hands of guards, including being forced to barter sex for clean water. And in USA, fire engulfed some cities and towns in the country as mandatory evacuations continued on Saturday, July 17 along the California-Nevada border as the fast-moving Tamarack fire engulfed over 21,000 acres of almost 33 square miles. And in sports, let's talk some golfers who gave the latest updates here on The World Today. Collin Marikawa says even though he's young, he wants more after shooting a bogey-free final round to win the 149th Open Championship at the Royal St. George on Sunday. Thank you for watching. It's been a nice bulletin here with me, myself, Rise Nanakosi Amenin. I'll see you tomorrow here on The World Today. Enjoy the programs. Have a good morning. Bye.
The world has seen a lot of evolution in recent times. Global network facilitated by trade continues to grow stronger and forge nations closer together.
On International Trade Focus, we'll share with you the current industry, tech and commercial avenues turning the world's trade wheel. This is your gateway to international business connections and trading events. Get the inside views, vital information, trends and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
It's a Monday morning and you're live on Metro Television. This is this morning live on Metro Television. You're on DSTV channel 277 and on Facebook and YouTube, Metro TV GH. My name is Sanaya Tanawabwachi.
And I am Kojo Nyantechi Karanting.
Since you're starting a new week and it's a brand new Monday morning, let's start with some inspirational quotes for you. So each new week is one you haven't seen before. Begin with a positive attitude and see just where that takes you. Yeah.
So I'm tempted.
Tempted to do what?
To ask you.
What?
What new thing are you beginning with this week?
This week, a lot. A lot.
Okay.
A lot,
Do you care to share one or two?
Before we wrap up, I'm going to tell you.
Okay, no problem.
But then let me ask, how was your weekend?
It was long. It was long.
It was long.
Surprisingly. Yes.
That means this guy had nothing important or something busy to do.
Well, it started with Friday night. I didn't go out as you're thinking. I didn't go out as you're thinking. I slept. Okay, it was a long sleep. I haven't had that in ages.
Oh, I see.
So I really slept on Friday
night. And I'm guessing the weather was good for you too.
Oh, Sanya weather night. Okay. So speaking of weather, while I was on my way here, it was a bit cloudy and then drizzling. So we're going to take the weather report for the next 24 hours, just so you are covered. So there you have it. Nani, I don't know. Are you comfortable in the shirt you're wearing?
I'm ready.
You're ready for the weather,
Yes. Everywhere is covered, from my neck to my arm. I'm geared up. Let me put it that way.
Okay. So yeah, that was the weather report for the next 24 hours. We hope that as you step out, you just get ready or you get prepared for whatever comes your way, whether it's rainy or it's shiny or it's cloudy. This is This Morning, and as usual, we come your way with the best and the latest in Ghana. We shall take a quick break, and when we're back, there is more.